What's up, you guys? This is Tim Trevathan with Tim Trevathan Homes. And guys, this is an awesome video you're about to really enjoy because it is behind the scenes of a home orientation, also known as the first walkthrough when you are buying a new construction home. And I'm here at the Providence Group's community, Evanshire in Duluth, Georgia. Got a client that bought this beautiful, nice in-unit townhome right over there. And it's a thorough process. It's about an hour and a half long. And we're gonna take a look at everything behind the scenes, as in the builder himself is gonna be there to walk through every single part of the home. And I'm gonna make comments, he's gonna make comments, he's gonna go through checklists, we're gonna be signing documents. Guys, if you're looking to buy a new construction house, a lot of times people think that you could go directly to the builder. I help people on the buying side, not just with resale, but new construction as well. And the greatest part, you don't have to pay my commission, the builder does. So it's to your advantage to work with an agent such as me. I've helped clients from all over the country, locally, buy new construction homes. The client that I'm helping today with his lot over here, he lives in Las Vegas. He's not here. So here's one example of how I can help you if you are out of state, where I could do all of the walkthroughs for you on your behalf, so that you don't have to fly all the way to Atlanta, Georgia to do this. And I've done it several times. It's worked out smoothly and perfectly. So have no fear. You have Tim Trevathan by your side. But without further ado, let's take a look at what a home orientation looks like when buying a new construction home here in Atlanta, Georgia.
So we made a note of that, and then the vendor list, when we get that.
Okay.
There was a note on the inspection report about railing that was missing, and perhaps.
I think talking about the left side, that just because this is covered doesn't mean that it can be without a rail.
Oh, that's a barricade that goes on instead of the rail over there. That barricade there.
Okay,
that stays. That's the fall protection on that side.
So there won't be a railing?
No.
Okay.
No rail on that
Because
side.
the inspector was saying still needs one.
No. I mean, you can see this is kind of how we retrofit them.
Okay.
See, it's kind of like that.
Gotcha.
On that side, it doesn't get a rail.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it has to pass inspection for sturdiness. And actually, it was here, maybe this is what he's talking about, it's a little loose. They need to tie this top end into the post.
Okay. Oh, he was also wondering, is there gonna be a light or a fan or both?
Yes, I think it's, yeah, you can see that one down there in black. So yeah, that's.
Is this a fan?
Yeah,
And it has a light or just a fan? Oh, it has a light.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I can't tell from
I don't
here.
know what the spec is, I forgot to look at it exactly.
Okay.
But it's the same thing that we do on all the decks.
Okay.
There's a couple of gutters. There's also a gutter that comes on the back deck.
Okay.
If they wait till these guys are done and painted, then they come and put the gutter. It's one of the last things.
Gotcha.
But that was on your inspection report, and that'll be done before closing.
Okay.
Downspouts, the same thing. It's the gutter and the downspouts. You know, they kind of go together. For me, it's the same thing because it's the same trade, and they do it at the same time.
There are a lot of downspouts that they didn't have the clip.
Yeah, the painters sometimes take them off to try to get paint behind them, then they put them back. I've already got a note of that, so when they come back to finish this, which I think is going to be Thursday or Friday, I told them these guys will be done by Thursday or Friday, and then they're going to take care of those other trips and stuff like that as well. So I know what you're talking about. Light fixture, is that what you were talking about, the one on the deck?
I believe so. No, there was a missing cover to the light fixture in the bathroom, I think.
It might have been the foyer. I had it on my business list. I think it was that one. I think it was that one.
Okay, so it's on now.
Yeah, it was already on this. Somebody else could do that. Yesterday or something like that. The master bath windows. I'll get the. There's two windows that need some spring.
It said that if you go all the way up, it stays up, but it should be able to stay up even if you crack it open an inch.
Yes.
But those were falling down.
Yeah, sometimes there's a little adjustment on the springs, and we got a window guy that specifically comes and kind of looks at that stuff.
Okay.
So no problem to get that done. Oh, here it is. The light with the globe in the foyer.
Oh, okay. So that one.
That is. So then the other light must have been the fixture out here on the
Okay.
for the deck.
Okay.
We'll look around in case it's missing something else that we didn't see, but I think those are the only ones that were missing. The master door rubs, we'll take care of that. The laundry pan. He made a note about the plastic pans that go under the laundry.
Yeah.
We switched to a laundry drain that covers the code, so you don't do a pan, you don't need a pan.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
you gotta watch. We can look underneath and I'll show you where it is.
That'd be good. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's way better. Our company switched a couple of years ago because those pans, they always get cracked. You try to fit the thing in,
Yeah.
and then you can't get to them once they're in. So we just went to a floor drain, which it does the same thing for the code.
Okay.
That's
So
kind
all
of
this
upgrade.
will be addressed starting today until next Tuesday before 12.
Yes.
The
And
final
if
one
anything
should be all
changes,
done.
anything changes, I'll call you and let you know.
Okay.
Anything come up.
Cool.
The other thing that was on the report of the UFER ground.
Yeah, that's the
The
big.
UFER is a ground, yeah, we do all our UFER protections on the side where the panel is. So everything's protected before it even comes this way, and that passes the code, and that's how we do all our townhomes.
So wait, how do you know that it's connected?
I can go out there and show you how I look
Okay,
at it. I
okay.
don't know if you'll see it, but it has to do with the UFER ground covering the bond bar of the main panel.
Okay.
Before it splits off into each individual unit. The code was a little weird, and it says the UFER bar must be in the first opportunity of disconnect to the panel. And we interpret that, and so does the city of Duluth, as protecting everything at the panel side.
I mean, sure, it's okay since they have to inspect it, right? So
Yeah.
if it
Yeah, it's
passes,
a big deal. They gotta
yeah.
pass it. Yeah, it has to
okay.
go through.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, and then the concrete guys, a book keep, but it's a little piece of rebar that has a loop on the end, and it usually sticks up about that high.
Right.
That's pretty common to connect the UFER to. And the concrete guys, when they do it, they just put one. It's just part of their procedure. They put one in everything that they do. And if the power comes in on this side, then we would have used that one and another one to connect it to ground and power panel. On this townhome, the power was on the far side, so that side is the one that gets grounded.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's because usually you only need one U for ground, but they had two in this one, right? Like two of the
Sometimes the guys put up, sometimes the first crew that comes to do the walls, it's a different crew, he'll put one. If you don't have them, and they're a super pain in the ass, so everybody kind of goes over and sticks one up here, then the slab guys will come, they'll put one in,
Yeah.
the wall guys, so it's not really uncommon to have a couple.
Gotcha.
looking
Okay.
around for that.
Okay. Because today, blue tape everywhere that's cosmetic. or-
Blue tape, yeah, we can walk around and see if we see, the painters know to come back and, warranty works, and the way it works is like 6 feet away. That's
Yeah,
what
to be
you're
able to
supposed
see.
look
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
And you kind of look around and see it.
It's gotta be pretty obvious from
For
6
me
feet.
personally, that it doesn't always hold true because when you come up to adjust the heat, you're a lot closer to
You're looking
6
at that,
feet.
yeah.
So it's more like just a general kind of guideline. And
Sure.
just, what it's supposed to
I
take,
don't even see anything right
you're not
now.
supposed to go over every single wall.
Right,
everything like
right.
that.
Yeah.
So more how I look at it is like, you can walk through, just do your normal living. We walk through and walk around.
Yeah, like maybe like right there.
Yeah.
The small
See
spot.
something, put a piece of tape on it, exactly. Just like that. Usually this stuff, the note back stuff kind of hangs out a little bit more than the other stuff here.
What time?
Warranty at theprovidencegroup.com.
Okay, and that's for submitting any warranty requests.
Submitting any warranty request. Usually in the beginning, a general rule is like the first 30 days, just call me or go down to the agent, down to Liz or Danielle at the sales trailer.
Right.
And ask them, and I can figure out something.
Quicker.
Yeah. After, kind of technically, it's kind of supposed to turn over to warranty after about 30 days. I'm still here, so you can still call me if you
Okay,
need to. If you have
okay.
a question, hey, can you take care of this? Oh yeah, I got somebody. Or no, this needs to go through warranty because it's a product manufacturer's item or something like that.
Cool.
So this you can look at. This will be in the drawer. We'll put that stuff in the drawer over there. We ask that during the warranty process in the first year that you live here that you make a differentiate between emergencies and non-emergencies. Sometimes that's just the client's preference, like a little nail pop on a wall. Let me preface that by saying at the end of 1 year, we do a 1 year courtesy touch-up, where we send someone out, they'll walk the house with the client, and we'll touch up wall, sheetrock or nail pops, or we'll touch up little maybe areas in the trim that had been, shrinkage over the first year throughout the heat and cooling cycles, things like that. Some grout on the tile. And that is here. So this is the 1 year courtesy touch-up. There's some drywall, some paint, some grout on the tile, kind of typical homeowner maintenance type of things that you would be responsible for moving forward, but during the first year, we kind of come under and do it, and they call it a one-time courtesy touch-up.
Okay.
You have to call and schedule for this appointment at like 10 months or 11 months, because once the 1 year is out, we won't come back and do it.
Makes sense.
It's handled through our warranty department. So during that first year, if you come across items that you're unsure and it's not an emergency, like I said before, maybe a little nail pop in a closet or some separating trim, just wait on that, because we're only coming that one time. Wait on that and turn it in with your 10-month request. If it's something that you deem an emergency, then by all means, send the email straight to warranty department.
What are some examples of emergency situations?
Water, heat goes out,
leaking,
a leak or something like that. If one of the faucets decide to start leaking, or
Gotcha.
if you have a problem with the heat in there. And certain things also are just up to each client. For instance, like a nail pop, a little nail pop in a closet, or maybe somewhere it's not an emergency, but maybe a nail pop directly over your head in the master bed. When you wake up every morning and look at it, hey, I'd like this fixed, and you come fix it.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Maybe something that's like a safety hazard too.
Yes,
trip over a nail.
If it's something that it's kind of, you just deem it yourself. If it's something that you can't wait, then we'll take care of it.
Okay.
Here's some helpful hints. I just lost my train of thought. I think I was going to say something about the emergency. Just back to the warranty. If you go on our website, you can download the kind of warranty booklet, and it's offered by a company called Structure. It's not necessarily a full third party, but they kind of do the guidelines that a lot of builders in Atlanta use.
Right.
So we're not the only one that uses like a structure guideline. Their guidelines in the report will give you this is covered for 1 year, this is not, this is homeowner's responsibility, this is a warranty item. So if there's stuff that you have questions with, or you feel like kind of just reading through it because it's a good idea to read through homeowner's warranty booklet, you can go online and get it. We don't give out hard copies of the book. Most of the stuff is self-explanatory. And the easiest way to kind of break down our warranty is it's offered in three different levels. The first, not levels, but three cutoff points. The first is 1 year, and you'll see the terminology 1 to 10.
Okay.
The first year is the functionality and craftsmanship of the stuff that you see and use. Okay, the flooring, the lights, the faucets, the doorknobs, the handles, things like that.
Right.
If those, maybe the door starts to rub, or the latch, starts to rub a little bit after this little settling of the first year, or one of the lights stops working or something like that, that's guaranteed for 1 year. The second year is the delivery system inside the walls for the power, the gas, and the plumbing. That's guaranteed for 2 years. And then the 8 years is the structural membranes of the house, which are the structural walls and the roof system, the truss system, the structure. That's an 8-year warranty.
Okay.
Now they call it 1 to 10, but it's really 8.
Okay.
1 to 10 is like the name. We do an 8-year on that.
Gotcha.
These townhomes are pretty sturdy. They're all based, built on the residual slope on the hill. They cut. We can add fill for these. They all get poured together as one big slab, all 4 of them. And so as far as structurally, they're pretty sound.
Yeah.
We do the same truss systems on the same plan. They've already been, nothing's like custom made for this house. We do the same thing over and over on this plan all day long. So everything's kind of been tried and true. The important thing to differentiate is on the concrete side is that the footings are structural. The slab work, which would be the slab of the basement, the slab of the garage, the slabs of the driveway, and sidewalk, which you don't have. But those are 1 year. So the slabs are 1 year. The structural concrete is the 8 year. And the
Gotcha.
structural is kind of what's buried in the ground.
Question, I can't remember. He has carpet in the bedrooms upstairs?
No.
No carpet at all.
No, he got that changed out.
That's really good because, and I need to record that for him. Because I know some builders, like if you got like a squeaky floor, oh man.
Wow, pretty good, man.
Wow, you somehow fit that thing. Oh my God.
That was me just doing this.
No, I saw it. I saw it. A good joke. Yeah, well, that's good because I've seen some builders where like a common thing I see in the first year is squeaky floors. And if it's carpet, like my builder, they pulled up the carpet and then nailed in and then put the carpet back. There's one builder, based on what you're saying, the guideline handbook, they don't have to pull up the carpet. They just stuck a nail through the carpet. I thought, man, that's not very good repaired.
It used to. You're on the right page because it used to be, but they make these. What you need to do really is kind of screw it.
Screw it,
A lot of
yeah.
times the nail isn't
enough.
going to work enough. Yeah. And they make a new product. It doesn't always work. They make a new screw that's super thin and it has a head that will break off, and it's specifically made for catching leaks through carpet, catching squeaks through carpet. So, and then sometimes you can nail, if you're careful, it'll mess the carpet up. You can get it if it's a simple one in an area where you kind of exactly know where it is.
Yeah.
The problem is most squeaks you got to kind of hunt and peck for them, and once you start hunting and pecking through carpet, then you start messing up the carpet.
Yeah,
So it kind of depends. If it's a simple fix, you can get it through carpet.
How do you guys do it?
We'll usually pull the carpet back if it's
Okay.
carpet. A lot of times, it's easier to cut the sheetrock and come from underneath. Because then you can kind of see the structure better, and sheetrock's pretty easy to patch and repair.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we've done that. We send someone through to screw all our floors after, like a third party. The framer comes and frames them at their 100 miles an hour, and then we send another guy before the sheetrock goes in to screw. It's a separate trade. He comes through and screws everything down. So,
Okay.
it's not slabs throughout the whole entire, or the concrete is poured together. The concrete's poured together. When the walls come in, they pour the whole unit as one. So they're all kind of connected. There's not really a lot of settlement that occurs. If you see little cracks or doors kind of come out of adjustment, usually it's from the home going through the cycles of the heater and the air conditioner for a year, kind of drying out. It's not usually a structural settlement. The nail pop's the same thing. They kind of, you probably know what a nail pop is. I use the term all the time. I haven't seen any, but they're pretty common. The driveway, this is just a note to watch the edges of the driveway with big moving trucks. Ceiling fans, I don't know why they have this, just a reminder that on the ceiling fan there's a little switch.
Yeah.
And it'll reverse the spin. So if you have a coffee table with a bunch of papers and your fan always blows the papers off, you can turn the switch and suck it up.
Cool.
We'll go over the freezing precautions with shutting off your hose bibs and stuff downstairs. I'll show you that. Air filters, he said that was 18 by 20 by 1. We have a couple different sizes, so I'm glad he wrote that down there, the inspector. And we'll make sure to change that filter. Materials are home, cabinets, hardwoods. This, we've had a couple of clients that don't like to run their AC in the summer. For whatever reason, they just would rather fans, so they'll open up all the windows and just have fans on. That voids the warranty on all the woodwork and all the cabinets. The houses today they're built to kind of seal themselves up, and the air systems are built to filtrate and to to exchange air inside the closed space. And when you bring in all that humidity from the outside, it just swells all the materials. So, I mean, it's not to say you can't get fresh air, you know, spring and fall or for a little while, but this is in here because we have had certain clients that, you know, throughout the entire summer, they just leave all the windows open, and yeah, it voids the warranty. That's what that's trying to say. The appliances all have their own warranty through GE that starts when you close the house.
Okay.
So if you have any appliance, you call GE and they will send it either a replacement or they'll send someone out to fix it.
Cool.
We stuck a dehumidifier in all our stuff, just as it's. I was told to explain it as a gift because it's not warranted by our HVAC department. I think it's down in the basement. It's not really now. It's not too humid. In the summer, it's a good idea to run it.
So there's one in the basement?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a good idea, and like I said, we offer it as a courtesy. It's not part of the warranty. That are the outlets that have the little buttons on them that pop. We do all our GFI protection at the panel, so that's why you don't see buttons on the outlets that are in the kitchen. But that's all been inspected by Duluth. They're required in wet areas and exterior.
So it's behind or?
It's at the panel.
At the
So
panel, okay.
what they ended up doing was putting, you'll see it, I'll show you when we go down there.
Has like some sensor built in that.
Well, you know how this one had these, in the kitchen, you see the ones with little buttons?
Yeah.
They just got the button on the breaker.
Oh, okay.
It's a GFI breaker.
Interesting.
So it still protects the circuit. It's just
Okay.
protected down at the panel rather than right at the breaker, at the outlet itself.
Gotcha.
I think things got cheaper, and then I think certain municipalities would say, well, that's part of the kitchen, even though it's a different, now they're running that on a dining room circuit.
Right.
And then they say, well, these should have been GFI because they're, you know, on these open plans, everything becomes like the kitchen and dining room. And I think when the cost was effective for the breakers to just get a GFI breaker, they just went and just
Gotcha.
use GFI breakers.
Gotcha.
That way everything's covered.
Okay.
This is a reminder that the landscaping is part of the HOA and not part of the builder's warranty. So if there's any issues with the landscaping, it goes through the HOA.
Okay.
We can still help you while we're here in the first year, but basically, well, and I said a year because we'll probably be here for another year before we're done over there. So if something comes up, you need some help with something, we can help. But as a general rule, the landscaping does not get sent to the Providence Group warranty. Landscaping issues get sent to the HOA.
Okay.
And as a note, your irrigation system is being powered from the meter at the pool.
Okay.
It's not, so when the sprinklers go on,
Right.
They're not coming off of your water meter.
Ah, okay. Good. No worries about erosion, I'm assuming, because it's a small lot. That seems to be an issue with some single family new construction I noticed, where there should be a retaining wall in the back and there isn't. And then during the 1-year warranty, they have erosion and the builder's like, oh, we're not responsible for it, even during the warranty. And that's been really bad for a few people.
Yeah, that can be an issue because it's kind of pricey to fix it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do it. It's just, it's the nature of trying to squeeze everything in, and we have hills everywhere, and drainage has to, you gotta find a way for drainage, and you just kind of have to squeeze everything in. This one, we weren't allowed to cover anything up in that basin down there. That's kind of a little creek, so
Right.
that stays open, so there's plenty of room for water to go down and pretty slope, and we haven't had any issues like that.
Cool.
This is just congratulations on your house. Please take the surveys and do what you can to give us a good grade. That always helps out the guys in the field.
Sure.
So that's that, and then same thing. Congratulations on your new home. And then this is congratulations on your new home.
Many congratulations.
I'll leave all those in the drawer over there.
Cool.
In that drawer also has some paperwork for the appliances.
Right.
But it's usually easier most of the clients because I don't know how to work all the settings on the stove. We each get different stoves and stuff. So usually the clients just go on YouTube or go online and look at how to set the timers or do whatever, because there's a bunch of stuff these new appliances.
And then keys garage openers are at closing?
Keys, the garage door opener should be.
Is there a fob for the swimming pool?
Garage door openers are in here.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is the paperwork for the appliances, the keys, your gate code in the front,
Right.
the keys for your mailbox, don't forget that.
Yeah.
And the
Swimming pool?
swimming
fob?
pool.
Okay.
And then also instructions on trash. That'll be at closing. I'll give you all that.
Cool. Okay.
And then when you use your key, when you get your new keys and you use them, it trips the tumblers in the locks, and then the builder's keys don't
Can't
work.
use it. Yeah. Familiar with those. Sounds good.
So we could just kind of start in here.
Use the blue tape.
Just grab some tape. If you see something that'll help painters out, like I said, they'll usually, they're gonna go over everything. If they're doing one, they know they gotta come back and do their work upstairs.
Okay.
All the beams and everything.
Right.
On these open plans. Sometimes there's not a clear path to vent these things on the interior units.
I see. Okay.
Usually on the exterior units, the two end units, it's a pretty clear path. Like this one, you're on the end wall.
Yeah.
The HOA will have a regulation that says you cannot vent things out the front. So they're really strict on your front elevation, what it looks like. They don't want vents coming out, they don't want any of that. But usually you can do something on the sides or the back. So if you ever wanted to vent this, it's not difficult, and you probably could get approval from the HOA.
So I have a question.
Because it's on the side.
Okay. Is every house built, as far as the framing behind the drywall, where if they wanted to vent out, every house can? Or are there some that literally can't?
Well, it's kind of like, can I park my car on the roof? Yeah, we could figure out a way to do it. But so there's always kind of a way to do it, but sometimes it might include dropping a soffit in some place, or cutting. Sometimes it just gets to the point where maybe it's not worth it to do it. But usually, if you're tricky and you got somebody, you can find a way. Maybe it'll push up and come out upstairs, or go up into the attic and come out the roof, or go that there.
Because I tried to do it on my home, and it was a disaster. The HVAC company, the guy came out, charged a trip charge fee, which I wasn't aware of. He saw through the drywall in two places, in the garage and then in the kitchen, only to find out that he couldn't vent out of the house. Then he doesn't patch up the drywall. So I paid for the drywall fee for another contractor to do, a trip charge fee. So I basically paid for holes in my house to get an answer that was no.
Right.
And I'm thinking, well, for one, I didn't like that he did that, very unprofessional. But then two, was he right? Like they physically could not vent out?
Usually, if you have someone that's got enough experience, they can find a way. Not always, because sometimes there's.
He's saying that he could vent it. He was trying to look to vent it to the back of the house. He couldn't. The only way that he could is he'd have to run the vent where it would show going along the line of the wall of the garage, which would defeat the purpose. Like I would want it to not show.
Yeah.
I want it to be behind.
Well, like in a garage, usually maybe you just do a little soffit to cover it.
Yeah.
And sheetrock it.
Yeah.
So and then he might have to take it there. Sometimes you got to run it here, and then they'll just put a soffit above the cabinets and try to hide it in there.
Yeah.
And just bring that out and then do a new piece of crown. So there's a bunch of different little tricks that people can do, but it does end up sometimes it's not quite so easy as this one where it just pops out the back out the side of the house.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll let him know if he wants to do that. He can.
So and then back to the reasoning was where it was proven difficult on some of the interior units, and they didn't, like I said, maybe they didn't want to put a soffit above the kitchens to get it out the back, or if there's a big beam here and we did a plan where the kitchen was in the front and you can't go out the front, you got to go out the back. Now it's just we didn't do them on the interior units, and then we made a decision not to do them on any townhomes. So that's why, even though this one's pretty easy, we don't do it.
Okay.
It's a policy on the townhomes that we do not vent it. Kind of went over everything.
Yeah.
We just in the kitchen. This is the garbage disposal here.
Okay.
And it's an air switch.
Okay.
And it comes off of this hose right here. So you just be careful not to knock that out. And the reason they do that is so there's no electricity up here at the top.
Gotcha.
So this is like the switch, and it pushes air and does a little triggering.
Oh, nice. Okay.
that plate, I think was on your report. But
Yes.
Get that on there.
Get the
Get
coverage.
little sheetrock patch.
Okay.
That'll be pretty easy. This will
All
get
right,
cleaned
this
up.
up. Are you doing a good job?
We'll get the fan up here.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That'll get painted. Let's go upstairs and we'll go to the.
Okay.
Yeah, we sent the painters through. I think the house looks pretty good. We sent them through after they did the floor. So they've kind of come in and did, because we did, when you do the floor, you have to redo the shoe mold. So they've already kind of been through and did a lot of stuff. So it should be pretty good this year. Some marks and goodies on there. We've got those 2 windows that all get fixed that are on your inspection report.
Right.
There's a door in here that we will fix as well. And what's the marks on here?
Oh, I have a question. Was surprised to see the metal roof. Why not shingle for the covered deck? Because I noticed the other homes have shingle. I mean, metal's better, right? It lasts longer. I was just wondering what made you guys decide that.
It's hard to tell, but your house has the big giant wide slider.
Okay.
So it makes the porch bigger, and because of the windows up top, it makes the pitch less. And anytime you're under a 3 and 12 pitch, you have to either do a double layer of shingles with some underlayment, or you use metal. And we use metal all the time, so it kind of comes out as a standard from our main office.
Gotcha.
That when we do a porch that's wider on that, and the pitch drops to below 3 and 12, we put a metal roof on it. The other porches here, they just have a regular standard double door. Their decks are narrower, which makes the pitch above a 3 and 12, which doesn't require a metal roof, so we do shingles.
That is awesome. That is really good to know. Wow. He lucked out.
Well, I lucked out too, because I already had the shingle guy scheduled to do it, and I'm like, and he like comes out and he's like, I think this is supposed to be metal. I'm like, that's right.
Wow. And what's the typical lifespan on those?
On the roof, on those metal roofs?
Yeah.
Oh, heck, forever.
Yeah.
Nothing happens really.
Well,
They come
wonder why we don't do that on our roofs.
Painted from the factory, so that metal's like,
Wonder why we don't do that on our regular roofs. Probably because aesthetically it's not as pleasing.
on just regular house.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question, because the stuff's getting a lot cheaper.
Yeah?
I mean, obviously it's more expensive than shingles, but it's not as expensive.
Like, man, I might want to do that for a roof replacement, even if it looks bad.
I mean, it's worth it to look into it, because, like I said, they're not that much more money nowadays.
Yeah.
I used to like to look in here. Sometimes there's an extra couple of holes.
Oh, right.
Put it in. That's in the closets. That's usually what I see. Yeah, this was carpet. They got that was part of the
Yeah, it looks
sales
great.
contract to get all the carpets.
It's very nice.
Well, what we got left for here.
Yeah, this is great. You get the hardwood all throughout.
Where's the dryer?
Oh yeah. You're gonna show me why you don't need the pan.
Yeah, God. Let me try to show up. I don't know if you can see it from under there. Nope. Oh, there you go. See if you can't get underneath there, and you'll see it at the floor. It's right in the center of the washroom.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep, I see it.
So
that's what's used.
yeah, you can. If they're on the first floor, you don't need a pan or a drain.
Right.
But when they're above heated space, the code says you need to protect with a pan, or you can protect with a drain. That drain.
Is the tile slightly slanted so
Not
the water?
really. That's not required. No. They just have to, I think, yeah, if these things, even if it's in a pan, because those pans never really work there. You try to push these heavy things in there, and the washers get smashed or they get cracked. So they're to make, if there was ever a problem inside this thing and it started leaking, it makes it, it mitigates it.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a serious leak, it's definitely going to go there at some point, right? Even if it's not slanted.
Right. I mean, you've got stuff around, so yeah, most of it will end up down there.
Yeah, it's just kind of very nice.
I
I noticed the quarter round here needs to be taped or painted.
Yeah.
I guess that's from when they replaced the carpet with the hardwood.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll put that as a separate item on our report because it's a little more than just touch up.
Okay.
Now, I don't typically list every single touch up. It's just blue tape, but on this one, remind me when you're down and I'll put it on.
Sure.
These have extra switches. Not this one. You got ceiling fans in all your rooms.
That was the other upgrade he wanted. Yep. Otherwise, what? It would be for an outlet or something?
Yeah, it's part. You have to say it. Usually, if it's just a regular light in the secondary bedroom, then one switch is dead. It's for a fan. You got upgrade fan, so that uses both switches.
Can that be taken care of before? See that little spot there. Did you get this part near the fan base? That looks good. See the nail pops. There's 1, 2, 3, 2 or 3. Yep. He hauling butt. So that was it, lot 56. Man, his friend really wanted that and just didn't act fast enough.
What, to get another one?
Yeah, lot. So we're what? Lot 57, lot 56, right there. Missed it.
I think it just sold, right?
We're just went under contract. Yeah, it's just a few days too late. So say you get the button for this one, not like the kitchen for the GFCI. You don't have a GFCI at the breaker for this one?
No. Let's see. If the light, that means it's not working. So I think your inspector tested it or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks like we need a little bit of sheet right there. On this line.
Let's see. It looks like paint there.
Let me go get this paper and I'm gonna write that down.
And I mean, this is minor, but just paint on the outlet cover. A little dent there. Small stuff, easy stuff. This area too, I don't know. Quarter round isn't supposed to go there, right? But it's a big gap. Let's see. Will that tile be clean around the grout area? tape. Green tape. So this is fine. More damages there. There's a shower. Stunning shower. So big. Good water pressure. Okay, so here's the dehumidifier you're talking about. It's nice that you guys offered that. I don't think I ever really see that.
I was surprised. I got the notice when I was already done with that building, and I was over in this building. I got the notice. They said, "Yeah, we're putting dehumidifiers. Our single families too."
Wow,
You know,
really?
over there.
So just the basements, right?
Just the
yeah,
basement
yeah.
lines.
Yeah, that's what a nice.
Yeah, because it's
add-on.
recommended in one of our papers. It says we recommend you get a dehumidifier. I'll cut this off. Put that in. These are the GFIs right here.
Gotcha. Okay, those
Bam.
white
So
buttons.
that's the same thing, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
They'll do the same thing, and that's it. And if a breaker blows, you know, if something you over trip it by putting, you know, running too much through it, I mean, a couple heaters and a hair dryer or whatever, and it trips, it only goes back halfway.
Okay.
You know, and depending on what angle, sometimes it doesn't look like if you look at it from here, everything looks fine.
Right.
You know, and you call an electrician, they come out and they go like this. Pay me.
Well, why halfway?
I don't know. That's just how they trip. You
Okay.
know, when it trips, it just goes. Even if you overload a brake and it trips, it goes halfway.
Gotcha.
So then to turn it back on, you have to turn it all the way off, and then back on again.
Probably won't trip, but I guess the negative with this is you got to go all the way to the basement to.
Yeah, I mean, breakers trip every so often for whatever reason. I mean, you got to just remember that they're, you know, they're sensitive for a reason. So, I mean, the calmest way of tripping it is just to overload the 15 amp circuit. You got a couple of outlets. It's only rated for 15 amps. You plug the heater in for whatever reason for grandma, and then you ran a hair dryer, you know, and then that probably, if you're on a 15 amp outlet in the living room that's not really expecting to have a heater and a hair dryer, they pull a lot of amps, it'll probably trip it.
Makes sense.
And then on the older houses where they start combining stuff and you don't know what outlet, you know, you did a renovation, you got your bathroom and they hooked it, and then they did a little enough room aside and they ran all the power from there. Now it's kind of, everything's kind of overloaded. Sometimes on the older houses, it'll trip a little easier. But these should be fine.
Cool. And then, what did you say about the U for ground there?
I'll just get it out of the floor.
Oh, okay.
We don't need that. We bend it out of the way. Just in case you ever want to finish the area down here. So here's your hose bib shutoffs.
Okay.
So they're shut off right now for the winter. Your sprinkler system, like I said, comes off of the meter that's at the pool. So the landscapers don't need these hose bibs. Most people go to the car wash. Most people just leave these off all the time. So I mean, you can turn them on if you want, but there's, you know, maybe if you were going to spray down your driveway or something like, or wash your car, whatever, you can turn it on. It depends on how much you use it. Most people don't use their hose bibs and they just leave them off.
Yeah. Okay.
In the winter, things are protected pretty well, and the pipes are plastic nowadays. They have a little expansion for freeze, so there's not as much of a danger of stuff freezing like there was when everything was copper. It's still a good idea if it's going to freeze to turn these things off and release the pressure from the valve ends.
Cool.
This is your water heater. It's electric. They're just typical shutoffs for maintenance and work. This is a little filter pump that takes hot water to the third floor a little faster, kind of like a recirc pump.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
If you ever finish the basement, that's when you would use this this setup right here. And it would pump water back up above the sewer line and then back
Right.
up to the street.
I've got one of those on my home, on my house.
This goes, let's see, can't remember what side it's on. Where's that goes? Oh, it's right here. So this goes up across here, comes back down over here, and comes out right here. This string, this pipe right here, goes underground all the way out to where AT&T or Comcast would be coming into your house. So they pull from there into here, then they pull from here. You can imagine this is here because typically this would be finished.
Yeah.
You know, a finished area. That's why they supply this. I mean, being unfinished, you don't even really need this. You could just route it through there. But this tube has a string in it and would pull your low voltage back over here to this point right here.
Wow. So why is it wrap around? Is it because the connection's coming from that side, or?
The tube?
Yeah.
Just in case it was sheetrocked and finished, so you have a chase to take a line that would go up.
Okay.
So typically, if you would sheetrock this, you wouldn't see anything except for this little cover right here. So then if it was all sheetrocked, then, and you hadn't done this yet, then you would pull this cover off and you'd reach inside there and grab this string and pull it out. And you'd grab this string and reach up and get this one, it's tied right here, and pull that out, and then you make your connection and you can feed your lines all the back through.
Got it. Been through a lot of new construction homes. There's always still like one or two small novelty ideas that have been implemented.
This is another chase the same way. It's got a string in it, and it goes all the way to the attic. This is in case you want to run another hardwire line up into the attic for horns for the alarm, or if you want to drop down in a wall and put a TV outlet in an area that it's not currently at, like on a different wall for whatever reason. You could chase a hard line up to the attic and then drop it down, rather than cutting sheetrock all the way through all floors.
Nice.
Concrete board, and it's 2 inches thick. It goes from the concrete here, the slab, the foundation slab, all the way up through the roof line.
Okay.
So none of the floor systems are connected between each of the townhomes. And there's this 1 inch airspace between this wall and the walls on this side. And it's the same thing on the other side. So on the other side of this, there's a 1 inch airspace and then their wall.
Gotcha.
And this is what runs continuous, and that gives you the fire rating between the walls. So theoretically, this stuff could burn here for 2 or 3 hours before it breached the other side. They're rated for 2 hours. That's what they have to be rated at. They call it a 2-hour wall. So that's what they're counting on, that it gives the fire department the time to come and mitigate anything on one unit before it breaches across.
How long was that code? Since when? What year?
I don't know, but it wasn't always that way, because sometimes the older condos and townhomes, they would carry their floor system through and then just do double sheetrock layers.
So I was curious because there's a Woodhaven. It's a townhome community also in Duluth off of Peachtree Industrial, and I think they're built in the late 80s. I wasn't sure if it was code at that time. Probably
not. And then if to retrofit, they might make you put sprinklers in. If there's something in that doesn't meet the current fire codes, you can sprinkler the system. That kind of gets you can get away with it instead of having to tear everything down and rebuild it.
Makes sense.
Gutter. Let's go. Here's a couple of straps. That's what it was. Yeah, here.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Oh,
Several
yeah.
of them.
They'll fix that. Yeah, I got
Okay.
that. That's the one I got on my
That
list.
whole gutter right there.
They're going to. The painters had to pull that out because when we had to retrofit for this porch here,
Right.
they had to move that out of the way. So they'll take care of it.
Okay.
I can't believe it's still snowing.
So they'll repaint. They'll paint the rails, right, in these small areas right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll fill those in and paint them. Yeah.
Still frozen over here. Ice.
Even like on the bathrooms and the kitchens, oily makeup or wine or something like that, if it stays on for extended period of times, it could slowly seep into the pores and stain it. I mean, something, if you clean up quick, it's not a big deal, but if you leave some dark makeup and go to France for 2 months and come back, it'll probably be, there'll be a dark mark on your countertop. Drain and winterize the hose bibs, hot water recirc pump, tub, shower diverter, the anti-scald device. You don't have the big master tub, so that doesn't apply to you. The maintenance and the grout and cleaning, just the grout and general maintenance is the homeowner's responsibility. But we do a courtesy at the 1 year courtesy touch-up. Mirrors, caricultured marble we talked about. The toilets are low flow nowadays, so it's a good idea instead of just do that when you flush the toilet, hold it down and just 2, 3, wait, make sure the water gets a good flush through it, and then release the valve. Waistline stoppages, just be careful what you put down there. I mean, the best rule of thumb is just put the least amount of stuff down the drain as possible. You know, in the beginning life of the house, it's not a big deal. It's only after years and years, and grease and bacon and stuff like that can start to clog it up.
Okay.
Appliances care, they have their own warranty.
All right, guys, so there you have it. That is the full orientation and what you can expect. And hopefully now you know all the behind the scenes, what it basically covers. So I've done a part 1 and part 2 series of how to buy a new construction home step by step, but I have not done one like this where you actually see a builder talking and going through the home orientation. So it worked out because normally I don't film this kind of thing, but I did because I had to, because my client lives in Las Vegas. And I thought, well, if I want to film for him, I might as well go ahead and upload this as a video for you guys if you are interested in buying a new construction home, so you know what to expect. Sometimes buyers get scared about buying homes. Totally understand. That's why we have an inspection process. That's why there's agents involved. That's why there are contracts and good lenders that can be recommended. But home orientation, when you see the process, what you just saw, hopefully that will quell your fears, that you can feel more at peace and you can know that the builder, and most builders are good, I would say there's only a few that I've had bad experiences, very few, then it should put your concerns to ease. This is Providence Group. This is one of my favorites, so I like them. Some of the ones where I've had some issues was like EMC Homes and Pulte Homes. D.R. Horton was pretty good for me. I had some people say they had issues, but really it boils down to the builder and the community and the agents that represent the builder. So it can be case by case. So there's a lot of bad reviews out there, but usually it's the ones that complain or the ones that are posting those reviews. You don't get to see all the positive experiences, which I would say 95% of my clients who bought new construction are very, very pleased with their home and with the way the builder handled it. So subscribe, like, post a comment in the comment section if you want to know something. Ask a question. If you have any other information that you want to know about new construction, yeah, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment. See you on the next video.